Okay, in this video we're going to discuss groups and enrollments and getting students enrolled in your classes. So I'm here in the Summer Teacher Academy course, but you would be, of course, doing these settings in your own course that you create. Once you're in your course and you're seeing your content here, you'd be coming over to this Settings module. And over here under Settings there's this User little twisty here. We can open that up. And one of the things we want to look at is enrollment methods, and this is how students are going to get enrolled into your classes. So we can go ahead and open up enrollment methods. And by default, I believe self-enrollment for most classes will be off. This is the one that we need to turn on. And the way you turn this off and on is with the little I here. If you don't have this turned on, the only way students are going to get into your classes with this manual enrollments, and manual enrollments means you're actually going to enroll the students in your class manually. We want the students to go in there automatically so we don't have to do all that extra work. So we're going to click on editing to say how we want those students to be enrolled. And now there's a couple of different pieces here with self-enrollment. If we're not using groups, we would come in here and just type an enrollment key that we want the students to use, and that's the key that we give to our students.
That way you can secure that the students that you want to be in your class are in your class.
Correct.
As opposed to just having anybody enroll and then you find a long list of students that you are not even taking your course.
Right. This would prevent those students from accidentally, and usually it happens by accident, they're going to click on courses because they clicked on the wrong one. They go to enroll in it. If it doesn't have a key, they're just automatically populated right in there. If there's a key and they click on the wrong one, they're not going to have the right key and it's not going to put them into the class. So having the right key there. Now we're going to do something a little fancier here with this class because we actually have two different groups for this Summer Teacher Academy. We have a week 1 and a week 2, and we want to do some things where we have the two groups separate. So the enrollment key that I'm putting in here is actually just an enrollment key to prevent anybody from getting into the class. I'm not actually going to tell anybody what that enrollment key is. Instead, I want to use this group enrollment keys. So I'm going to turn on group enrollment keys, and in the section for my groups, I will set the keys, and I will have a different key for each one of the groups. So when somebody comes in, if they have the key for group 1, it will automatically put them into group 1.
And you'll notice that you can unmask your key at any time.
Right.
The standard default here is to actually mask the key so people don't see the password.
Right. Okay, so I am going to just save the changes here now, and we're going to go and take a look at those groups, which we had created the groups a couple minutes before, but we'll go back to show you where we created those groups. When I come underneath that user twisty over here again, I will also see groups over here, so I'm going to click on groups. And you can see here I have two groups already. The way that you create those groups, though, is to come in here to create a group.
So suppose that we had a third summer group.
Okay, so we'll call this summer
_3.
3. And I would set a key here, and this is the key that I'm going to give to the students that I want in my summer 3 group. And I'm going to put in summer 3 here.
Just to make sure you have the right key, you unmask it to look at it,
right,
and then mask it again.
Right, and then that just lets me take a look at it. If I forget the key at some point and I need to get another student enrolled halfway through the year, I could just come in here and take a look to see what the key was that I actually used. I don't have to change it. I'm going to hit Save Changes. So now I have 3 groups, Summer 1, Summer 2, and Summer 3, and I have the self-enrollment set up. I think I'm okay to go.
Yes.
Okay, let's see what this looks like for a student. I'm going to log out as me for a minute, and I'm going to log in as Joe's student here. So I remember Joe's password. There we go. Now you'll notice Joe Smith here does not have any classes yet. There's no classes here. So I can go to Courses.
And this would be the view that your student sees.
Right, and since this one is professional development, it's going to be underneath here. For your classes, they would come here if it was a Wes Caldwell class, and they'd go underneath the particular subject, and they would find the class underneath there. I am sticking this one under professional development, and this class is this one here, the Summer Teacher Academy. When I hover over it, it kind of tells me what it is. This is where I type the key. And since I want to have Joe in group 1, I'll type Summer 1. And I can unmask it just to make sure I type the right thing if I really want to. And enroll me. Now Joe is into the class as a student in group 1. I'm going to log out as Joe for a second here. And we'll log back in as myself. And we'll go back to the Summer Teacher Academy, and let's take a look how this looks for the teacher. If I go into those users now and go to groups, I will see that Summer 1 has Joe Smith in it now.
And here's the beauty of this method. The students themselves, by enrolling in your class, populate a specific group.
Right.
Personally, since I have 2 sets of freshmen who are taking the same course, an exploratory course, I keep them divided. But then I don't have to do what I did before in 1.9 and go back
And put them into groups.
and put them into groups individually. They, by joining groups with different enrollment keys, actually populate themselves, which removes another administrative task from my class.
Correct. Right. And you'll see we didn't need to know that overall course password. Really, you just want to give out the group passwords
To the students.
And you set up a separate password for each separate set of groups.